Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. So my name is Sky. I help people with their spiritual awakening process or their energetic awareness, right? So today we're going to be talking about the sacral chakra and how we can balance out our sacral chakra, right? So the first and foremost thing to help you balance that energy out is to play more, laugh, go out with friends and crack jokes, right? Do things that make you feel playful, kind of get in touch with your inner child. If you're a parent yourself, go out there and play with your kid, right? Do the fun, goofy stuff. Watch their goofy little movies that have that funny sense of humor. Go tap in to their imagination. Really utilize your child, right? To kind of call upon your playful energy. So the next way to balance out that sacral chakra is to let go of your current habit patterns and your habitual behaviors, right? So this could be something so simple as if you go to get a coffee every single morning, you get a mocha every single morning of your life on your way to work. This means something as simple as switching up the flavor. Get a white mocha, get a peppermint mocha, get something out of the ordinary that you would not normally get. Kind of switch up your routine. Maybe if you drive a certain way to work every day, take a different route. Take a more scenic route maybe. Leave a couple minutes early, do spontaneous things, right? Basically expressing your creative energy and your passions through your everyday life is a great way to balance out that energy. Examples would be like playing an instrument. Find your passions, guys. Play an instrument, cook, bake, sew, do crafts, weld, glass blow, any form of artwork, do writing, sing. Express yourself in any way that you feel passionate about, that you feel connected to, that makes you feel happy and passionate about what you are doing, right? So one of the exercises I have to help you kind of break out of patterns, to break out of your everyday same stuff every single day is, it's actually pretty simple. Write with your opposite hand that you normally write with. So I usually write with my right hand, so I would be writing with my left. You can write your ABCs, you can write your first and last name a bunch of times, whatever, right? What that is doing is helping your brain break out of those habit patterns of writing with your right hand, for example. That is sending a message to the universe. I am breaking out of my habit patterns, and I'm spontaneous, and I want new stuff in my life, right? Let's not forget the chakra is associated with your ability to go with the flow and your fluidity and your ability to kind of just go with the wind and be spontaneous. So if you are unable to be spontaneous, how you help unblock that is to be spontaneous, right? It's so simple. Another way is to incorporate your passions and your creativity into the kind of everyday, like mundane things of your life. So if you're cleaning, for example, if you hate cleaning, you know what, make a game out of it. Dance while you're doing it. Throw on some music. Bust out your moves, right? Find things that make your everyday boring kind of typical stuff fun. Find ways to make it that you are passionate about. Maybe you and your husband or you and your partner want to make a drinking game out of it. Do whatever it takes to kind of spice up just everything in your life, right? Find ways to enjoy the boring, mundane stuff. Kind of reframe your mentality. If you got to go cook for your family, but you hate cooking and you're like, oh, I hate cooking, I'm so tired, I don't want to do that, this sucks. Reframe your mentality to, I'm going to throw my all into this meal. I'm going to express my creativity through this meal. I'm going to throw my passion into this meal and really have fun with it and be creative. And other people are benefiting from my creativity and from me living my passion because it's feeding my children or whatever, And so find ways to incorporate your passions into everyday life. That's super important. So the next thing I had in mind is basically, this ties into the root chakra as well. If you're that person that's like, you work a 9 to 5, but what you really want to do is be an artist, for example, and you've been painting for years and you have never thrown your paintings out there, you've never even tried or anything. start on the side, maybe, making like an Etsy account or making like an online store for your paintings, right? And just kind of do it on the side and try to do it more and more, kind of try to shift your reality. And that's just an example. So, whatever you want to do, right? Whatever you are passionate about, do whatever it takes to find a way to get paid and set up your financial structures and your, foundational structures through your passion, through your creativity. And that is actually simultaneously balancing your root chakra, because it has to do with the foundational structures, and you are balancing your sacral chakra because you are passionate about those your foundational structures, and you are passionate about how you earn your money, how you earn your living, and that is going to help you excel much more if you were just working your 9 to 5 that you hate, right? And so the next thing that I want to talk about is claim your right as a human to feel emotions, right? A lot of the time we're taught from such a young age, even in childhood, and don't blame your parents because they did their best, right? But even saying small little things like, don't be angry. You have no reason to be angry. You have no reason to be throwing things. You have no reason to be mad, right? Even little statements like that are kind of putting a subconscious thing in our head, and we will kind of take it with us for the rest of our life that it is not okay to express certain emotions, right? Instead of saying, you have no reason to be angry, don't be angry, stop crying, don't cry, you have no reason to cry, all that stuff, right? Try maybe an alternative with your children of, son, I see you're really angry right now. Why don't you come on into mom's room and punch the pillow a bunch of times? Scream into the pillow. Do whatever you got to do, son, to express those emotions and get them out, and then get back onto your everyday life. Because if you do not express those seemingly negative emotions, they will build up and create a blockage if you are not expressing those emotions in the proper ways, right? We can't just deny as humans all of our emotions. We can't just choose to accept that we're happy and things are going great sometimes, but then when it comes to us feeling sad or anxious or emotional or unhappy, we can't choose to ignore those emotions, because when we do that, we store those frequencies down in our sacral chakra. We house that, we house guilt, we house shame down there, we house all kinds of emotions down there, right? So do not store those emotions up. Get them out. Do whatever you got to do. Find a punching bag. Recommend doing a emotion journal or a diary, right? Because that is such a great way to take your emotions and to put them into tangible physical form. That's writing it out. That helps get that energy out of you and helps you kind of overcome. Really try to contemplate related aspects of yourself, right? Really try to figure out and get to the bottom of your blockages, your issues. Where do these stem from? Pick apart your childhood. Get to the bottom of those issues. Shame and guilt, like I said, are housed in the sacral chakra. And so we really want to do the forgiveness thing. We really want to do the kind of moving on past our traumas, right? We want to forgive. We want to come to a place where you recognize that the traumas made you who you are today, the beautiful person that you are today. And you would not be this person without all those seemingly negative stuff. But try to reframe your mentality to make them powerful stuff, not negative, not it was not something I fell victim to. This is something I survived. I was not a victim. I was a survivor, right? And so really try to reframe your traumas and work through your traumas in any way that you can. Get rid of that guilt, get rid of that shame. That's so important for the sacral. The last sort of deeper thing that I wanted to mention is to claim your right as a human to be intimate with another, right? We're not just talking about your partner, we're talking about people in general, right? If you have a problem looking people in their eyes, if you have a problem hugging your loved ones, if you have a problem in general, just kind of like expressing to your family or whoever how you feel about them, if you feel kind of embarrassed or shameful to say I love you, if you feel embarrassed to kind of express emotions, that's definitely a sacral imbalance, right? So you want to be able to express yourself to the people that you care about, the people you love. And what I suggest with your partner is to really dive in to your connection in an intimate way. Really get sexual. Express your sexuality in a healthy way that doesn't have negative consequences, right? So this means if you have a partner, do the role playing, do the fantasy, do the stuff that you've always wanted to do, but maybe you felt too shameful or too embarrassed or whatever, too self-conscious to bring it up, like, oh, I don't know if my partner is going to think I'm weird, but I really like this, I want to bring it up so I can try it, but I'm too embarrassed to. Stop all that. If you're with somebody that you do not feel comfortable expressing your intimacy to, there's one of two things going on, or both, right? One is that that's just not the right person for you because you are unable to express yourself. It might be something with them, but the majority of the time it's something within you, right? So if you have a problem expressing yourself intimately, if there's nothing that they did wrong to make you feel as if you can't express that and not be judged or whatever, then maybe take a look into why you have shame and guilt associated with sexuality, right? So yeah, I mean, be spontaneous sexually, try new things, do the public thing, do the hanging thing from the ceiling, do the toys, switch up your relationship, switch up your sexuality, try new things. Another thing that's very a great way to express your sexuality is dancing. Different forms of dancing. You could do some belly dancing. Anything that really gets those hips moving and rotating is helping that energy flow through to your sacral chakra. Right, so do some exotic dancing, erotic dancing, do some tantric dancing, do some tantric yoga, tantric healing. Really express your sexuality in healthy ways. You could also, I don't know, we've been taught from such a young age. There's been a lot of body shaming, sexual shaming, being taught that our sexuality is inappropriate to talk about. Our sexuality is inappropriate to express in general. If people might judge us if we're expressing our sexuality. Women could be labeled as slutty, men could be labeled as a player or whatever, right? We have all these things growing up that makes us not want to express our sexuality in a healthy way, making us think that we have to kind of suppress it. So don't say enough is enough. I'm not going to suppress my sexuality. I'm not going to give in or care about what other people are thinking with my sexuality, because this is my life. I'm going to do what makes me happy. And one important thing that I want to mention is that something that could be sexually healthy for one person may not be sexually healthy for another person, right? So based on your beliefs and stuff, one person may believe that they can go out and have one-night stands and be protected and everything is all good with their mentality. They're like, yeah, I don't see the harm in it. There's nothing wrong with this. I'm just living my sexual passion and I'm being safe. I'm taking precautions. So there's no issues, right? And that's great. That's great, right? But then another person could not have that same belief, but they have the same actions. They're out being promiscuous, they're out hooking up with people and having one-night stands, but this is the kind of person that, because of their beliefs and because of who they are, they feel guilty about just connecting with anybody. They feel guilty about kind of sharing their kind of sacred energy with others when they haven't been with them for a long time or whatever. So say that person grew up and their parents were telling them that you are going to hell if you express yourself sexually before marriage and blah, blah, blah. Well, you might have a little bit of a belief, a subconscious belief, because of how you grew up, that you are doing something wrong because you are not married to them maybe. It's all about how we grew up. It's all about our experiences and knowing that we can reframe our experiences, right? And so, number one thing, do not feel guilt about your sexuality. So now I'm just gonna list some stuff off. I'm not gonna talk about why this stuff is important. You can either do your own research or stick around for my videos, my future videos discussing these topics, because they are all so important and relevant. So You can go do acupuncture, like go get acupuncture done. You can have a massage, get massage therapy done. Any type of Reiki healing, energy healing, prana healing, hydrotherapy, being around water, being around the ocean, drinking more water in general. Let's not forget the sacral chakra is fueled by the vibration of water, right? So if we're drinking more water, that is actually helping the flow of energy to our sacral chakra, and getting our kind of water intake up. It helps balance our sacral chakra. So chromotherapy helps. I have some past videos on chromotherapy, so make sure you check those out. You can use essential oils or aromatherapy. You can surround yourself with orange, right? I have a nice orange wall behind me, and it's definitely helping balance out my sacral chakra, as well as making this video. By me being passionate about making videos and creating this video for you guys, I am actually balancing my sacral chakra as we speak, right? So you can use crystals, crystals that reside around the vibration of orange, right? That helps balance out your sacral. You can look up affirmations, write down affirmations, say affirmations, meditate on affirmations. You can do the mudras. You can do sound therapy, binaural beats. They have a ton of ways to balance out your sacral chakra through binaural beats on YouTube. Just go ahead and Google it or YouTube it or whatever. There's so much out there, you guys. And so that is pretty much all for balancing out your sacral chakra. Next week, we're going to be talking about the solar plexus chakra, which is the next one up. So make sure you stay tuned for that. So I hope this was helpful, and I hope you can start kind of balancing out your sacral and living a much better, positive, best version of your life that you can possibly live. And I hope you all have an amazing day. If you want, I have a Facebook group kind of for like-minded individuals where we can discuss these topics that we've already talked about. We can talk about related subjects, so yeah, I'll leave the link down below in the description box. If you haven't already subscribed, go ahead and subscribe, hit that little notification bell button so you get my future videos. And I hope you guys have an amazing day. Mwah, namaste.